Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Freedom Runners Relationship Advice. I have an interesting story for you, and I'm gonna try to make this one as colorful as I can make it. Now, keep in mind that there will be some tough love here, so please don't get offended, guys, or ladies, I should say. So, this one is written by a married woman who has a husband who turns her down and watches, I'm gonna say it this way, and watches Pone. He likes to watch that Pone. So we're gonna get right into this. All right, this woman is 32 and the husband's 33, so they're both in their 30s. This ought to be good. My husband and I have been together for 8 years. So wait, you've been together for 8 years? How long have you been married? Trying to understand here. Anyways, we've been together for 8 years and our libidos have always been mismatched. Uh-oh. Keep in mind, guys, this is the first time I'm reading this one. My libido is much higher. Ooh, I'd love to have a wife like that. But I'm going to keep this PG. But it didn't seem to be much of a problem in the beginning because he would still touch me and find ways to share other forms of intimacy. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep this PG. This is my first time reading it, so just bear with me. His libido is decreased over time, and he is okay going 2 weeks in between SEX, which then results into three-ish times over a few days before the 2 weeks of nothing kicks in. And that's a problem. He has also stopped touching me nearly as much and does not seem very interested in other forms of intimacy we used to share. Wow. Okay. Uh, 99% of times that I tried to initiate failed spectacularly and made him feel very guilty, even though I shrugged it off and didn't show I was disappointed. Now I don't try to initiate. I think you got a problem on your hands, and I'm going to get to that in a moment. When I've let him know that I want him, if he feels he would be in the mood later, he then, um, how should I say this word? I don't want to use the M word. He then pleasures himself and watches Pone in the bed next to me when he thinks I'm asleep. He knows I don't like him watching Pone and I asked him previously not to pleasure himself next to me in bed because it feels hurtful that I'm literally right there and rejected. I can understand that. It seems like he gets kind of aroused knowing that I want him, but then looks at other women to get off. What does this mean and how do I deal with it? I don't want to feel rejected anymore. Well, like I said, sounds like you got a problem on your hands. But I wish I knew more of the story, so I'm only going to assume that this could be one of the scenarios here. He could be cheating on you. You haven't really addressed much anything to back that up to make me believe that he's cheating. But that could be what he's been doing. If he feels guilty and if he wants to pleasure himself and continue to watch Pone. If you mean as bad as Pone is, there's got to be something at the root of this problem that's leading him to do that right in front of you. And yeah, you're right. It's insensitive and it shows that he doesn't care about your needs and your emotions, right? And I get where you're coming from. I get it. It is disrespectful. It's disrespectful. And I'm 100% with you on this one. It's very disrespectful. And if he's not cheating on you physically, he's definitely cheating on you emotionally by doing that. But one can argue that say that he is doing it physically, since he's uh, pleasuring himself. by watching porn right in front of you. And if you guys were not married, then you would have all rights to kick them out, to leave them. But you're married, and it is a tough situation. One could argue, why don't you file a divorce? I don't know if counseling will work. In fact, I don't believe counseling will work. Counseling is just a waste of time and money, in my opinion. But, for those who have gone through marriage counseling, and if you're watching this, good for you if it worked. But I don't think it will. Sounds to me like your husband just has so many demons that he really needs to get rid of. And obviously he's not a man of God. I don't see him as a man of God. I don't know what your faith is, but I would suggest you pray about this. If you haven't already, you need to give it to God. And 8 years is a long time to be with somebody, and then this happens. Are you sure he's not cheating? Because I really believe he is. I could be wrong. He could just be bored, or he could just be really insecure. But even if he were cheating, he's still pretty insecure. I mean, but then you say that his libido has decreased over time, and he needs something to get it up. I'm like I said, I'm trying to keep it PG. I'm trying my best not to be dirty about this. But there are a lot of underlying issues there with him that he needs to get sorted out, and obviously watching porn isn't helping. It ain't helping. So he's got a lot of repenting to do, and I hope he does it. I pray that he does it. I just don't think he will. Honestly, don't. I don't think that he's going to give up the porn anytime soon. I want to believe that he will. I just don't think he will. He's an addict, and he needs more than just help from a human being. He on earth, he needs help from Jesus, and Jesus is really the only one that can help him. He's got to give it to him. But I would suggest you pray this over, and maybe something will happen. In fact, I'm sure something will happen. One way or another, something will happen. And if not for him, then definitely for you. But you don't need to be in this situation. This is not a situation that I want anybody to be in. Not even my ex-girlfriend. I don't wish this on anybody. There really isn't much you can do about this situation either. I know you don't want to feel rejected. No one wants to feel rejected. So this is where I tell you, just pray about it. Pray about it. You try communicating this with him, and obviously he's not willing to listen. He's just willing to do his thing. He's willing to watch porn. And, he has no accountability. He's being a limp, DICK loser right now. But I'll tell you what, though, man. If that were me, I'd be having so much fun with you. But respect, out of respect, you're married. Respect. But I wish I had a wife that had a high libido. I mean, Anyways, let's get going. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. God bless.